Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Wednesday. It's a wonderful Wednesday. Welcome to My Kind of People with Steve Brooks. And thanks for all your comments last week with the fabulous Brendan McDermott, TikTok man, as I call him, radio host and all-round good guy. I had a lot of feedback from that. Thank you so much for all those people that enjoyed it. Got a fabulous, fabulous guest for you today. He's a husband. He's a father. He's a brother. He's a real estate agent. He's a rock star, and his name is Mr. Steve Jasinski. Welcome to My Kind of People, Steve. Great to have you on. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure, Steve. You're my kind of people, so this is great.
That's very kind of you to say. Very kind of you to say. So, listen, we've known each other not that long, a couple of years maybe. Resonated and connected with you kind of instantly. You're one of those people that I think just embraces everybody openly and kind of, tell me about yourself.
Sure.
I know you're a Haggis lover. We're going to talk about sticky toffee pudding. We're going to talk about the band and all sorts of stuff like that. But just tell us about you. Tell us about the real estate business right now. Sure. Just what's going on in your life? What's making you happy?
Well, thank you. And that's a broad question, so we're going to go through a couple different things. But my name is Steve Jasinski. I'm a realtor. I run a real estate team here at Baird & Warner in beautiful LaGrange, Illinois. I've been married for almost 21 wonderful years to my wife, Jennifer. Got 2 great kids. We got a great Pyrenees dog named Penny, who, if you ever see any white hairs on my shirt, that's usually from her. I am the lead singer of a band called Evil Burrito. We play all over suburbs, festivals, all over the Chicagoland area. And, I was raised to believe in giving back to our community. So I'm a member of a bunch of different local organizations that try to help the people around them. And that's me literally in a nutshell.
So I know you're connected to things like Rotary and, business communities and that. Giving back and it is a big part of who you are, isn't it? Does that stem from your childhood and family values? Because for me, it does.
Right.
But what about you?
That's a great question. So my dad, I'm the youngest of 4 boys. My mom passed away when I was 13 years old. So it was 14 years old. And I was 1984. I'll never forget it. And so my dad, it was a single dad in the 80s, which was kind of unheard of, raising 4 boys. And, we didn't always have a lot of money. We always didn't have a lot of, we didn't go on big, wonderful trips like a lot of folks did. But he taught us hard work, and he taught us about giving back. So he was, for Boy Scout Troop 19 here in LaGrange, he was the scoutmaster for about 15 years, taught tons of kids on, how to chop wood properly, how to start fires, how to, be buttoned up and be professional. He was the guy, and he was my role model of what it means to kind of give back. So my 3 older brothers are all Eagle Scouts. I'm not. That's okay. I was the rebel back then. But it started off real early. You help those who need a little help. Simple as that. And there's a lot of folks in our world that sadly need help right now, and we're trying to fill that void where we can.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me about Rotary and the business groups. How did you get involved in those? And I've been a member of Rotary in the UK, not okay. Here in the US. So I know the good works that they do. Yeah, maybe we can. But tell us about that. How did you get involved in that? And
sure.
So how does that play a part in your life?
When I was so I graduated high school back in 1987, and I didn't have a plan. Our family didn't have a lot of money. I had good ACT scores, halfway decent GPA, but had no idea what I wanted to do. So I went to community college. I joined the National Guard to help raise money. The GI Bill helped pay for college. So I went to the cheapest school in Illinois, which is Eastern Illinois University, home of Tony Romo and a bunch of other famous athletes that have come out of there. And after graduation from college, I worked for Enterprise Rent-A-Car, which is just a grind, but they teach you how to sell, which was actually kind of a good thing. But I rented a car to the president of Harris Bank. It was right here in Westchester, a guy by the name of Tom Lamro. And the gentleman who referred me to him was our landlord, a guy by the name of Tony Bresnahan. I will never forget him. Tony Bresnahan literally changed my life. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was kind of just floating along, trying to figure things out. And Tony ran a business called Chariot Automotive, and his son Jimmy now owns it too. Great family, great people. But Tony saw something and he said, "Hey, you got to talk to this bank." And this bank president comes in, rents a car, and talking to him, he said, "Hey, come on, I want you to work for me, and I'm going to show you my office." I'm like, "Who the hell's this guy? What are we talking about here?" He recruited me, and he literally brought me to the Harris Bank, said, "This is going to be your office. You're good with people. You're good with sales. I want you to kind of teach people how to relate in a relationship business in banking." And that was the creation of a wonderful career for me in banking. And so I learned numbers and finance and how to run a business and all those different things from banking. So I don't know. I love where my life has gone to from there. So Tom Lamro, Tony Bresnahan got me into the Rotary Club of Countryside and said, "Hey, you need to know what's going on with the other business owners in town." They kind of plugged me in and said, "You're the young buck. You go out there and help generate business, but also give back." And the Countryside Rotary Club donates a lot of everything from computers and dictionaries to School District 105, which is ideal, and Hodgkins and schools like that. Money. We've created the for the women's shelter here in LaGrange that we won't talk about. But if there is one here, we've donated money for rooms there and also for the whole landscaping that's been done. So we try to give back to our community, kind of under the radar, but still trying to make it work.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous. So, real estate then. I mean, what's? I know we were talking before we came on air about how things are going, and that's. I'm so pleased for that, given where we are in the world and the economy right now. How did you find your way into real estate?
Well, to be quite honest, I got fired, and that was so. I always try to make it as funny as I can. It's never really happened in my life. It happened one time, and I make jokes of it, but I went to a different career field. I said, "You know what? How do I still kind of plug into my neighborhood? How do I use all the assets and skills and context that I have?"
Sure.
And the bank and we just decided we went in different directions. I started real estate back 9 years ago. I started my own team a few years after that. And right now we're the #1 real estate team here at Baird Warren in LaGrange, and one of the top teams in all of the greater LaGrange area. It's been fantastic, and I'm being tone deaf in the world that we're living in. It's a very scary time out there right now. But I'm proud of my team. I'm proud of all of us working hard to still help people who, sadly, maybe they had somebody pass away in the family, or, they're having another kid and they want to get out of the city, or they're like us, they need office space now and they need a bigger house. I mean, it's all the above. It's been great.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. You talk about team, because I know you're a huge believer in being part of that team and guiding those people along. I think that's such a worthwhile thing for you. Somebody said, the old analogy, there's no I in team, and somebody shouted out once when somebody said that, but there are 5 in individual brilliance. So, teamwork. What makes a great team for you? What the essence of a good team?
That is $1 million question, and I think everybody's going to have a different answer.
Yeah.
In my world, I don't expect anybody to be a yes man or yes woman. Oh, Steve says this, we must, be an automaton and just follow along. I mean, I want people to be able to think critically, to be like, okay, here's the needs we have. We'll set up the structure, the infrastructure, be like, okay, here's what we've seen that works. How do you take it and turn it to what's best for you is the best thing about it. So people, well, first of all, at least in real estate, if they don't want to work hard, it's not the job for them. This is truly it's a sales job with a lot of customer service skills. You have to be able to react to people emotional needs, because sometimes it's numbers driven. If somebody's buying a 4 flat, they just look at what's the cash flow, what's the net income, and they kind of base things off that. But there's a whole different world where somebody goes, this is the house I'm selling because this is how, they have the height chart still where all the kids were at.
Yeah.
Or this is where little Jimmy, bumped his knee, and this is where Susie, fell off the treehouse, or all those types of things. So it's a very emotional business. I was a double major in psychology and sociology in college, and I never thought kind of what would I get out of that? Oh my God, I use it every single day. And just interacting with people, understanding where they come from, what makes them tick, and what gets them down the road. That's good. Just like you, my man. Just like you.
Great answer. Cool. So let's get behind the man then.
Uh-oh.
Because there's a few little things that intrigue me. One of them is your obsession with haggis
Hmm.
and sticky toffee pudding. Tell me about that, because I know this is gonna make for some good watching right
It's
now.
and I'm a little bit of a weird guy. So I have some close family friends. So I've been going to, again, when going back to Boy Scouts, starting as a kid. We had one of our scout leaders. He's an attorney by the name of Alexander Kerr, Sandy Kerr, and he's an ex-army guy too. I only found that out a few years ago, so we even have more in common. But he used to have all the Boy Scouts come and volunteer at this big Scottish festival we have here in Chicagoland called the Highland Games. So it used to be at Oakbrook, then moved up north. And, the adults all got to do the scotch tasting, but all of us Boy Scouts, we're cleaning up garbage and doing all that kind of stuff. And I got this love for Scotland that we finally got to go last year, which was great.
Yes.
Why I was pumping you for information, like,
Yeah.
hey, where do I find this and how do I do that? So I literally had haggis at every meal. And my kids, I'm sure by the end of it were like, come on, Dad, can you knock this off? I'm like, no, if I only get to do this once, I'm literally eating it all the time. So I bought home cans of it that I found in different stores. So I've got about a dozen cans of haggis that I just break out, every once in a while. And it's, I'm Polish. We eat some weird food too, but people look at haggis and they go, what in God's name are you eating? So Steve, do you know what's in haggis?
Well, obviously, it's all of the things from everywhere put into a sheep's stomach,
Yeah.
which will sound gross to a lot of people, I know, but if you've had a good one,
It's delicious.
it's delicious.
Oh my God.
Absolutely, yeah.
So for dessert then, so we would go and have, again, when we went to London and Scotland, this was my 50th birthday trip my wife planned for me. It was awesome. It was a great trip. But I said, I had a couple of checklists. I'm like, I want Scotch eggs. I want haggis. I want to have this thing called sticky toffee pudding. I'm like, what is this? I don't like pudding. It's not. And then they bring out this cake with ice cream on it. I'm like, I love cake. This is the greatest thing ever. And so I had it with whipped cream. I had it with the caramel sauce. I've had all these different versions of it. And there's a place. Well, there's a couple of them. I'll throw a plug out to them. But there's a place called the White Lion right out in the Garden District of London. Man, to die for it. If that was like last meal, I'm getting sticky toffee pudding from there. Absolutely.
You said the Garden District of London. So did you go to a place called Welwyn Garden City?
I don't remember. To be quite honest, I just remember it was the Flowery Garden. I don't know. Our hotel or our little apartment we rented was
Right. Okay.
right above an Irish, or right above a pub. It was awesome. We were centrally located to everything. It was like a block walk everywhere we went.
Nice. Have you tried cooking it yet? Have you tried making it yourself?
My wife makes it about every 2 weeks. So she does. So we whipped it up. We've got the nuts to blend in. It's fantastic. And again, she's doing little things. So she actually learned how to make homemade whipped creams. That was that on the top. It is, Steve, you are welcome at our house.
Listen, I'm taking you up on that. We'll have haggis and sticky toffee pudding. I will look forward to that. Thank you so much. Now, tell me about Evil Burrito, right?
Okay.
Because I've seen you guys perform. Let me tell you, everybody, these guys are amazing. 80s, 90s rock, and as we were saying before we came on air, stuff that people want to get up and dance to, want to enjoy. I've seen people just grinning at your gigs, having so much fun. Tell me about that. Was that an ambition to do? How did you get into that?
Sure. Well, when I was a young lad, as they would say in England back in high school, I had hair as long as I had hair down to here. So we were like kind of back then at LT they called them the skids. We're the metalhead, long hair, leather jacket type guys. I always called them kind of some people viewed us as the outcasts, but it was a great group of people. So my hair's a little bit shorter, but when I was in a group called the Madrigals, which was like the top 16 singers at LT, and there was a senior level, a junior level, and I was part of that group for years, and it was phenomenal. And as life goes on, you kind of go in different routes, but it was always one of those things. I mean, I'd sing all the time. My wife. I answer people's questions in song lyrics. I'm a weird dude where I can literally be talking and I can have a whole conversation. And it's funny. It's kind of like a game to me, and they just look at me like, all right, knock it off now. Let's go. But I use some of those things as my business quote. So Steve, I've said it to you, like everything I do it for you. And people are like, is that a song lyric? I'm like,
Do you know something? Do you know that's very interesting because I've been to Paradise, but I've never been to me.
Good, nicely done.
Thank you. We're going to come back to this. We are coming back to this very, very shortly now.
I love it.
So tell me, there's four, 5 people in the band.
Yeah, so we're a 6-person band.
Six people. Yeah.
So I was in I don't know, maybe 7, 8 years ago. My friend Ryan Williamson and I, he's my financial planner. He's a good guy here in LaGrange. He was playing guitar. I was always singing. We just kind of started going off each other. So he started playing something. I'd sing it. He's like, "How do you know all these songs?" I'm like, "How do you know all these songs?" We just kind of melded in together. We knew the drummer is the owner of a sound education over in Brookfield. So if anybody ever needs any instruments repaired, buy some instruments, or you need lessons, great guy to know. He's our drummer. Ken Crollo is our bass player, lives also in Brookfield. So those two guys kind of came as a package deal as the rhythm section. I met a great guy by the name of Mike Manti on a site called Band Mix when we were looking for a lead guitarist, and he has helped create a whole nother level. So all of our lighting, all of our sound equipment that we have he owns a sound studio. So he's got this high tech stuff, which definitely helps make all of us sound better too. And he lives over in Brookfield. His wife's a teacher at LT. Mike Manti, great guy. And we just added a new female lead singer to kind of come on with me. Her name is Becky Rako. She is a powerhouse, is the best way I could say it. I was saying it to you backstage here. I don't get verklempt very often, or I don't kind of get choked up when somebody sings. I'm like, I've heard this. Oh, okay, that's good. Okay. Maybe I become tone deaf to some things. She started singing, and brother, my eyes started tearing up. I'm like, that is a superstar right there. And so our next show is August 15th at Joe's Saloon over in Brookfield. We play outside under a tent, but they've got a whole kind of beer garden area set up that can fit a good chunk of people there. That's her debut, and I have a feeling it's going to be Bob because she won. And if you want to Google her, Becky Rakow, you can find her on Google. She won The Voice. Chicago had its own kind of singing competition.
Yeah.
She won it. And I'm telling you, I was like, okay, who's this person? Somebody recommended to her. So I'm like, I'll kind of listen in. I hit Google. I go on Google, checked out her name, started listening. Blown away. So we just had rehearsal last night, and she's, giving me compliments. I like how you sing this song. I like how you sing this song. And I'm just choked up going, I'm just glad I'm singing with you. Its harmonies are great. It's been a lot of fun. It's been
superb. Now that's 10 days time, right?
Correct. August, 15th, 10 days.
Okay. Looking forward to coming to that. I'm going to be there.
I'll have a beer waiting for you.
Thank you, sir. I look forward to drinking that with you. Yeah. So we'll stick some details of that up when we put this out on LinkedIn and Twitter and everything, and Instagram as well. So we'll try and drum up some groupies for you on that. Where's the name come from, Steve?
It's a great question. So there was, after one night of rehearsal, again, Sound Education's in Brookfield. There's a taco stand right across the street, and everybody's throwing names out. What should we be? Should we be, Vendetta? Should we be, the Go-Go's? Or everybody's throwing these different names out. And the drummer just walks out and goes, hell, we could be the Evil Tacos. Look at that. And everybody goes, everybody's had an evil burrito. If you've ever been at college or out drinking late at night, you go get the evil burrito. And we're like, done. That's the name.
That's the name. It's
right along. Yeah, it's been good.
Super.
So when we go out to places, we sell. It's funny. We have shirts and stickers and all this kind of stuff. And if you're in London, you'll see some Evil Burrito stickers out in places. I actually saw one on Abbey Road. There's a little sticker from Evil Burrito right in the corner, right on the wall of Abbey Road, which was kind of cool. And when we're at schools or at places, and all of a sudden I'll be in a bar and I'll see some dude wearing an Evil Burrito shirt. I'm like, this is kind of cool. It's kind of good. One.
What's the future hold for the band? You just going to gig locally? You're going to? I know it's a passion more than a career, but
yeah, it'd be fun to say we're touring with the Stones or something like that. But we're a local cover band that but we lost about 35 shows so far this year with COVID not being able to play, and that's always extra little income for everybody and their families too. And not that we're going to ever be millionaires, but it's nice. It's extra income.
Yeah.
But we had about 60 gigs on the calendar this year, and that's a lot of Fridays and Saturdays, time away from family. Which, with all the stuff that's going on in our world, you could say COVID's been a horrible thing. Some people say it's a blessing in disguise. it has definitely made people revamp who they are,
Sure.
their relationships, their businesses. And I've got to spend a little more time with my family, which I don't know if they like it or not, but it's been a lot of fun for me.
Cool. Are you thinking of doing any virtual sets at all?
We have done one. So there's one group. We did a song together with a local band called El Rando for the Business Association. And we kind of redid Fleetwood Mac's Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow. And so you go on YouTube and it's out there. I think it's also on the LaGrange Business Association page.
Okay.
But Nicole Stork, Kevin Cahill. I know that there's a Dan Model, I think, was on keyboard. So there, we grabbed some different players, did it virtually, recorded it. Kind of, again, our sound guy is good. Re-put the sound together. Worked with a young man, did the video for it. And yeah, it was fun. So we tried it. We're gonna see the reaction for it.
Okay, looking forward to seeing that. So listen, let's play this lyric game because I'm feeling good, right? And I'm going to do it my way.
Okay, I'm going to do the best I can. And now the pressure's on.
So come on then, let you start. Throw me a line. Let's see what we can do. This is totally unrehearsed, everybody. This is literally what my kind of people is. Yeah, you throw me a line and let's see where we can go.
All right. Why not think about times to come?
Why not think about times to come? Oh,
and not about the things that we've done.
Oh man. Oh no.
If your past is bad to you, just think what tomorrow will do. Don't stop thinking about
tomorrow. Okay. What? So all I can think about is really that there's these misunites, and they're the longest. You know, all these midnight diamonds that stuck my heaven, softwood burning like the fools that are your needs.
No idea.
No
idea.
It's a very English singer called Cliff Richard, who back in the day was known as the English Elvis.
Okay.
Had a huge hit with, it's called Misunites.
Did he have a big fight with Jimmy Page? Like, weren't they neighbors or something?
Yeah, I think so. And if he was, I think it was Chris Everett.
And he had his own radio TV show, didn't he?
He had several TV shows and had a big thing with Olivia Newton-John. Or as we called him in our house, Olivia Neutron Bomb. So, but she was the one that I want.
Ooh, nicely done. I already said that, I mean, again, our crowd is mostly 35 to kind of 50-year-olds or so. And I always, now that I've talked about it with some of our singers, I'm like, that would be a perfect song if we go into that duet. Absolutely. One that everybody would know. Everybody would know. So you're a big English music guy, of course, being from England. I'm assuming you're that way.
Do you know my tastes are completely all over the board.
Okay.
From some very classical music at one end to loving, musical theatre, to current stuff, to the Michael Bublé is kind of my go-to song, that kind of standards and things. So I've been known to jump up first to do karaoke wherever I go, but
I love that.
So yeah, I mean, but for me, music is the one thing that changes my mood. You know, when it's tough and for everybody, it's been tough, for a long time this year. But it's music that I go back to kind of snap me out of that.
Music is healing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you just broke up with someone. It doesn't matter if you've lost somebody or if you're at the top of the world. There is something for you that somebody said, you're like, boom.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes you cry, makes you smile, all in the same song.
I mean, I can tell you, when I was probably 17 years old and my girlfriend broke up with me, I probably jammed Here I Go Again on My Own by Whitesnake about 14,000 times on cassette. Just hit rewind and do it again as I'm flying down the street. It just, music's phenomenal.
See, now we're using words that people might not understand, like cassette, right? So, did you? So we used to have like the charts on a Sunday. Around about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And if you had a cassette recorder and you had a blank cassette, you'd have it next to the radio and then try and Yeah, and record the song, but then you had to pause it before the DJ spoke and then play the next song.
Right.
I mean,
I had Eddie Grant, the Electric Avenue.
yes.
I had that thing probably on every cassette tape I ever had because they were just jamming it on every, what was the guy's name? Casey Kasem's Top 40. Oh, it was all. And then from there, 80s, then my hair started growing out. My music probably got a little more aggressive. So actually, my favorite band in the whole wide world, and I've seen them 30 some odd times. They're one of your people, Iron Maiden. They're my band, and I love them. I went to so when we went to London, I went on this music tour, and we did some Beatles stuff and some other, the Clash and some other bands.
Sure.
But I was like, I want to go see this pub, and they're like, the guys looking at me like, how do you know all this stuff? I go, because those are the front covers of the first Iron Maiden album. So this was, and so I've got some great pictures, and my kids are probably like, "What, Dad? You're so weird." But yeah, that's my music. What am I going to do?
Once a music lover, always a music lover, right?
Yes, sir.
Listen, it's been fabulous having you on today.
Thank you.
I look forward to haggis and sticky toffee pudding.
Done. And I'll have a pint for you. So are you? We'll talk. So I don't know if I need to get you the Guinness or if you're a cider guy, but you tell me what you want. I'll have it for you.
Whatever. It's always good. Always good. Listen, thanks for being a guest on My Kind of People. The fabulous Steve Jasinski. Thank you, man. Bless you. Keep up the great work. Love you to bits. Thank you. See you again soon. Thanks a lot. Guys, thanks for watching My Kind of People this Wednesday. We got a great guest coming up for you on Friday, who's I think you're really going to enjoy it. I don't want to spoil the surprise right now, but tune in on Friday, 10 o'clock, and we'll see you on My Kind of People with Steve Brooks. Thanks for watching.